Dear students, today we will discuss about Burma, Myanmar, or the land of Golden Pagoda. It bordered by Bangladesh and India to it in the northwest, China to its northeast, Laos and Thailand to its east and southeast, and Andaman Sea and Bay of Bengal to its south and southwest. Myanmar is the largest country in the mainland Southeast Asia. Its anthem is Kaba Ma Kei, means till the end of the world. Today we'll talk about the coup. An early morning on 1st February 2021. But before discussing this coup, the army was out in the streets, in the entire administrative offices. Before that, we'll discuss something about its background. It is known as Burma after the language Burmese. It was during the time of the King Ashok Maurya in the 3rd century BC, the Buddhism, the Theravada form of Buddhism, reached in Myanmar. Later on, Buddhism became a part of the culture of the Myanmar. In 1824, Britishers decided to capture Myanmar. There was war, and then ultimately treaty, and finally Burma became the part of the British India, which continued up till 1937. In this year, Britain declared Burma a separate British colony. Then comes the era of Second World War, in which here comes Japan, who drove away the Britishers from here. Japanese need the local youth for fighting. That's why they started recruiting the local youth, and that group was named as BIA, Burma Independence Army. Japanese made a puppet government in Burma. They drove away the Britishers with the help of the Burmese youths and the local people. So Burma passed on from Britain to Japan, and Japan controlled its decisions, and they were taken from the Tokyo. Japanese were more cruel than the Britishers. One group of the BIA, that is Burma Independence Army, decided to separate because that got disgusted from the puppet government. The other group made the defense minister of BIA as their leader, that is Aung San. Aung San created the party, that is Anti-Fascist People Freedom League, AFPFL. Aung San decided to make Britain as its ally. During the Second World War, the condition of the Burma was not good. So it helped Aung San. Firstly, he, with the help of Britishers, got liberated Burma from the Japanese. And then after the Second World War, he brought the mandate from the Britishers as their representative in Burma. But that was not easy for Aung San, because he is to keep happy the Britishers as well as the people of Burma. In 1947, this balance got disturbed. One opponent group murdered Aung San. Aung San was a very important person. We'll discuss him later on. After him, U Nu became the head. In the Japanese puppet government, Aung San was the defense minister and U Nu was the foreign affairs minister. On 4th January 1948, Burma got independence from Britain and U Nu was the first prime minister of independent Burma. In the initial years, it was normal, but in 1958, in AFPFL, there was division. Then the Prime Minister U Nu approached to the chief of the army, that is General Ne Win, and offered him the post of the Prime Minister. General Ne Win agreed. It was the beginning of the entry of the army in the Myanmar government and the administration. In 1960, there were general elections. Ne Win had to vacate the post of the Prime Minister and became the Chief of the Army Staff. In 1962, General Ne Win revolted and there was coup. People elected government was overthrown and the rule of the military junta began. It continued for 26 years. In these years, thousands of people were killed in the anti-government riots. The State Law and Order Restoration Council, SLORC, was formed. And during this time, what happened? Number one, the constitution of the country was scrapped. Number two, there were restrictions on the press. Number three, Myanmar got aloof from the rest of the world. Number four, entire industry was nationalized. Ne Win used to say, I will bring the socialism with all the above principles. In 1987, there was demonstrations in Myanmar. There were economic crises. And ultimately in 1988, General Ne Win resigned. People came down in the streets. There was total unrest was there in whole of the Myanmar. Army was called out and on 8th August 1988, shoot at sight orders were passed. And in this, more than 3,000 people were killed. Protests were snubbed by the government. And during this time, one 33 years old woman who came back to Myanmar to see her ailing mother, her name was Aung San Suu Kyi. She was the youngest daughter of Aung San, whose name I mentioned earlier, who drove away the Japanese from Myanmar with the help of the Britishers. She did her best and became very popular. Earlier, she passed the graduation from Delhi University, then went to the Oxford for the higher studies. She worked for some time in the UNO. She had her family life abroad. Circumstances brought her to her homeland and where she is to lead the nation. In 1990, in general elections, there she had a landslide victory. Government was frightened. They declared the general elections void. Aung San Suu Kyi was house arrested for 2 decades. She was put in jail. In 1991, she was given the Nobel Peace Prize also, which she couldn't receive. She received it in 2012 after her house arrest for 22 years, after 22 years. In 1997, Burma was admitted to ASEAN. SLORC, S-L-R-O-C, which I have mentioned earlier, is renamed as State Peace and Development Council, that is SPDC. on 20th September 2007, Buddhist monks hold a series of anti-government protests. In April 2008, government publishes proposed constitution. In 2015, free elections in Burma were there. NLD got 86% of the seats, but the Aung San Suu Kyi could not become the president because military junta have made a law that a person cannot become the head of the country whose life partner is of foreign origin. Suu Kyi's husband and children were citizens of the foreign country. Middle path was adopted. A new post was created of state counselor, and Aung San Suu Kyi was made the state counselor and put on that post. She completed her tenure, one tenure, but during this tenure, some allegations were there on her. That is, with the consent of the government and the military junta, there were atrocities on the Rohingyas. And the Aung San Suu Kyi, who talks about the refugees problem, who talks about the human rights violations, even she got the Nobel Peace Prize and kept silent just to save her post. She said, no one is dying in Myanmar, and whomsoever is dying, they are terrorists. On 1st February 2021, early in the morning, army was deployed in the streets of Naypyidaw, the capital of the Myanmar. Suu Kyi and the Prime Minister were arrested. General Min Aung Hlaing controlled the power. Internet and Wi-Fi discontinued. No press, and emergencies imposed for the full 1 year. Banking services are also paralyzed. America, EU, India, United Nations chief criticized this. Why it happened? There are two views for that. One view is of the army view. Army says that there were rigging in the polls which were held on 8th November 2020. NLD of Aung San Suu Kyi got 83% of the seats. Army says that it is rigging of the votes in the general elections. Army also says that there is danger to the national security. It is believed, the second view is, it is believed by the common people of Myanmar that General Min Aung is involved in the corruption charges, and he had made a lot of atrocities and misused his power. The tenure of general is also about to be lapsed. Now let us see who will continue the military junta. It is believed that army is having support of China also. China is having border with Myanmar, and also a lot of states of China are bordering with Myanmar. The analysts in one of the articles, it is said that in Yangon, our military over the army chiefs flip-flop and then the coup. The comments on a military takeover made by Major General Tun were not of the cut-off, even though the constitution provides the military with more powers and privileges than are granted to any of the military in the world. But the constitution does not give the army chief the right to stage a coup. Article 40C of the Myanmar constitution grants sovereign power to the army chief during an emergency. But only the president can declare the emergency after consulting the National Defense Security Council. Chapter 11 of the Constitution says this. It also provides the military permanent representation in parliament without being elected. Clearly, General Halang has violated the constitution without scrapping it. His political ambition, no doubt backed by China, has undermined Myanmar's national interest and will lead to the dark unknown, but definitely sanctioning of the military. Now we come to the India's views. When in 1989 there was a coup, India had a separate viewpoint. And now in 2021, India is having a separate viewpoint. So the two coups are there and two different views, opinions of the India. The government reaction is likely to be starkly different to India's strong public criticism of the Janta's actions in 1989-90. One important reason for the change is that India's security relationship with the Myanmar military has become extremely close, and it would be difficult to burn the bridges with them given their assistance in securing the northeast frontiers from insurgent groups. In a joint visit to Naypyidaw in October 2020, Foreign Secretary Harish Shringla, the Army Chief General M.K. Narwane met with both State Council Suu Kyi and General Min Aung Hlaing, making it clear that New Delhi saw both relationships at par. Another reason for the change is Suu Kyi herself, whose image as a democracy icon and Nobel Peace Laureate has been damaged by her time in office, where she failed to push back the military and even defended the army's program against Rohingya in Rakhine state in 2015. A China factor. Officials also say a harsh reaction from India on the lines of that from the US, which has threatened action against those responsible for the coup unless they revoke the military takeover, would only benefit China. Apart from strategic concerns, India has cultivated various infrastructure and development projects with Myanmar, which it sees as the gateway to the East Asia and ASEAN countries. These include the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway and the Kaladan multimodal transport network, as well as a plan for a special economic zone at the Sittwe deep water port. India still hopes to help resolve the issue of Rohingya refugees that fled to Bangladesh, while some still live in India and will want to continue to engage the Myanmar government on that. Another reason for the shift in the change within the India, according to one of the diplomats, in 1989, there was a public clamor for India to take a strong stand against the military's action and to stand up for Aung San Suu Kyi. In 1989, after the SPDC military government arrested Ms. Suu Kyi, then External Affairs Minister Narasimha Rao had reportedly told a parliament panel that not only would the government provide financial support to the democracy movement, no Burmese or Myanmar refugees seeking shelter in India would be turned away. The government took a more pragmatic approach, engaging the military while pushing for more freedom in Myanmar. Whatever it may be, but India is largely concerned with the situation in the Myanmar. Because in Myanmar, it is one of the hub of the drugs and narcotics. It is a part of the Golden Triangle, which includes Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar. No doubt, on the other hand, it is a gateway to Southeast Asia for India, but at the same time, the condition, whatever the condition is there, India is largely concerned. Thank you very much.